sweet, she's leading us. Love is all we'll ever. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. So sweet, she's leading us. Love is all we'll ever trust. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, through my shadow, through the sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Going around these walls, trying to create a song. I don't want this to be. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, through my shadow, through the sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll We'll grow in number, fueled by love to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by love to see the horizon, turn us to hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. So sweet, she's leading us. Your love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, through my shadow, through the sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echo going around these walls, trying to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll We'll grow in number, fueled by to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till the shadow turns sun rays, and we'll go.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? So, hi everyone. Today we have an amazing speaker in the space, and all we're going to discuss today is like it's going to be an amazing topic. I mean, very amazing. We all have been hearing about blockchain, Web3, stuff like that. And imagine someone that comes from let's say like you come from Web 2, you don't even understand the whole concept of what Web3 is all about, cryptocurrency, everything. I mean, so today we have an amazing speaker in our midst. Um, yeah. So is the I don't really know how to like pronounce your name, but let me just make a quick introduction. Is the current Silo community lead for Nigeria. So he will be with us for today, the next 1 hour that we have, and share knowledge with us about what blockchain is all about, what are the opportunities that opens for both developers, not techie, whatever you have. How can you benefit from the blockchain space? So I will leave the studio for our guest. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, super. So I can see you are trying to avoid pronouncing my name, but that's fine. That's cool. So all right, I'm just going to do an introduction of who I am, and before I say anything else, my name is Nduka Anthony Anna Ilechukwu, and I do prefer people address me with Anna Ilechukwu. So that name actually means looking up to God. So yeah. So that's me. So I've actually I got into crypto space since 2020. That's early 2020, and the growth and the effects, or I should say, the experience has really been amazing. So I'm just going to also share a bit about my experience within the space. Looking at blockchain, you come to discover that it's actually a technology that is here to stay. It's not something that maybe you feel like tomorrow you won't see it again or it won't come into existence. It's here to stay. So that is why I believe everybody should get on board to learn about this tech and also be part of it. It's always an amazing thing to be a builder. You can be a builder if you are a developer. You can be a builder if you are into community. You can be a builder if you are into graphics. UI, UX, and lots of things. So you just need to be part of those that are doing something, because if you're part of those that are doing something, you definitely be in a good and a better place in the future. Just like looking at Elon Musk for an example, um, you know, if you look at his growth level and how he started, it's not a today thing. You know, it didn't just come out to become the owner of Tesla and one of the amazing persons in the space. And he's still building stores that he's going to use in future. You know, we are talking about I think SpaceX and yeah, I think is it Star something. So he's still building stuff that we will definitely use in the future, even if he knows that sometime soon he will no longer be there. He's still building something amazing. So it's always awesome to be among the builders and not just a consumer. You know, don't just be a consumer, just be part of the builders. You must not be a developer to be a builder anyway. Just making that so you get to understand that you have a huge role to play in this space. So I got into crypto space in 2020, and since then, I've had an amazing experience working with different blockchain projects and crypto platforms, serving as a community manager, and that's basically what I do. And you know, I love interacting with the community and sharing ideas, and also helping the whole space of the blockchain and crypto space grow. And I'm also the lead at the Blockchain UNN. Blockchain UNN is a campus club. In University of Nigeria and Soka that tends to push forward the education of blockchain technology within the university community. So, so aside that, I've also worked with some blockchain projects and crypto exchanges like Binance, FTX, and Gitocoin News. There are actually lots of them, but I'm just going to mention a few. And also, currently I'm with Celo. Celo, a blockchain that is allowing people to build amazing projects that could allow you, or make it easy for you to access blockchain projects through your mobile phone. I know I may be speaking all these things for those of us who may not have heard of blockchain before. I'm just going to do a little bit of intro of what blockchain is all about. Then maybe we can continue with the questions that we have. So, what is blockchain? We've been hearing of blockchain. What is blockchain? To put it in a simple way and to make you understand perfectly, blockchain um, is actually a virtual community, I should say, a virtual ecosystem that is built to remove censorship and intermediaries. Now, we've been using lots of centralized platforms for a very long time, and it's the experience has not really been bad. That those centralized platforms you could address them as Web 2. So, for instance, we have let me look for an application that could use to compare. Okay, let me use Google Drive. Google Drive as an application to compare with a Web3 or a blockchain decentralized platform. So, for instance, we have Google Drive where you can easily come online. You have about 10 gig or 15 gig space where you can share and store your data, your details, and your documents and every other thing that you want to upload on online. That digital material. So let's say in future, or what were one or two hacks or issues or problems that one may encounter, you know, on Google main database that would cause a breach or a gap between the users and the Google database itself. You may not be able to have access to your Google documents if you have such experience. So it will really cost you a lot, and you might somehow feel bad, that you can't, or you may not be able to access your Google documents anymore. So, but if we are looking at if you are looking at blockchain, you are looking at a space where information is spread across different networks. In terms of the Google Drive, as an example I used, I'm looking at the storage aspects. So let's go to let's say one of the projects that are into storage, which is Filecoin. Now, Filecoin is a blockchain project that is into decentralized storage, where people get paid to also store store documents online and many other things they want to upload. So this time around, the content they upload is not stored in one single server or one database where if something happens, or let's say there is a bomb strike in that company and it affects all their main storage hardwares and everything, it won't really be a problem because this time around it is decentralized, it is spread across the network. Now, let me also give an instance of how I usually explain blockchain in terms of distributed network and decentralization, because blockchain is also called distributed ledger technology. So let me also give this instance. I don't know in your campus in Federal University of Mina. I don't know if you guys have a CBT center where you write exams. Now, if you go to that CBT center where you write exams, you come to discover that there are lots of computer systems there that people can easily go plug into and write their exams. So, but and also you also come to discover that there is another computer maybe downstairs, upstairs, or somewhere hidden or somewhere far away from other computers that you use for exams. Now, you come to discover that that particular computer is called a main server, or the main or the server system, or the main system that is controlling every other computer systems in that exam hall. So for you to write exams, that main server needs to be activated, connected to other computers in that network. Then information needs to be shared across. That is maybe probably the link or the application of the examination that you are going to take will be shared through the main server to other computers. Now, this probably means that if anything happens to that main server on that computer, every other computer in that hall will definitely be affected. You see students begin to complain, my system is not working, this is not happening, the link is not loading fast, things like that. Once students make such complaints, then it will now cause the invigilators or the supervisors to go to the main server and communicate with the IT specialists, and the IT specialists will now have to, handle the main server and find out where the problem is from and solve it there. Then once they solve the problem, it will still now reflect to every other computer that the problem has been solved. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to talk about centralization, where you have a particular entity controlling the whole computer systems in that network. That is what we call centralization. But in blockchain, it's totally different. In blockchain, we call it decentralization, that is removal of centralization. Blockchain and crypto started in 2008, 2009, when a pseudonym, Satoshi Nakamoto, someone who we don't really know, made an update in a blog about introducing the blockchain through Bitcoin. And I know majority of people do know Bitcoin because of the price going up and coming down, blah, blah, blah. But the blockchain is just the backbone of that Bitcoin stuff. So he introduced Bitcoin and blockchain, and showed the use cases and the problems that he's trying to solve, especially in fintech. But now blockchain has grown beyond fintech, and it's going in different places in agriculture, medicine, and etc. So the main reason why he created blockchain Bitcoin was to remove intermediaries and censorship in terms of financial technology. I'm trying to send money to somebody in Austria, and I don't need to pass through all those Western Union, Visa card, all those intermediaries that are through the banks and etc. for me to send money, and also the time cost and everything. But I can easily send it directly to the person using cryptocurrencies, and that is what Bitcoin actually was, to allow you to do P2P transactions, called peer-to-peer transactions, without having to pass through any intermediary at all. So, and it made things faster, borderless, and much more easier to use than passing through a rigorous process in the bank and trying to sign some documents before you were able to send money, and that's tough. So so going back to what I was referring to as decentralization in terms of computer systems in the exam hall. So decentralization in the blockchain is what made is what made it unique. So we are looking at decentralization in this aspect, that there is no particular computer controlling every other computer. Every other computer is independent, but the main thing is just that they are connected together and they are working together in harmony. So you have thousands of computers connected together. So it means that there's nothing like a main server. So if one particular computer shuts down, it still means that every other computer will continue to work. I hope you understand. So there's nothing like a main server that if the main server shuts down, every other computers will go also join it to go down. So but here, if one computer shuts down, every other computer continues to function effectively while the other one can be worked on or can even be left out and more computers will be introduced. So that is what a blockchain is. So blockchain is just thousands of computer nodes connected together, sharing information, distributing information, and also allowing transactions to walk through. And everything is being recorded and being stored on that same blockchain. Every transaction and every activities are being stored, well, not just stored but well detailed. It tells you the time, the events, the epoch, the sender, the receiver, the contracts and everything, the hash too. So there's really a lot of things to talk about, especially in technical aspect of the blockchain. Although I'm not a developer, I usually say that because everyone must not be a developer anyway. But the skill is really necessary because you need that to grow in some aspects. So you can't talk about coding when you don't know any single thing about coding. It will really hit you hard somehow. So that's basically what blockchain is about. And I don't know, Mujid, if you have maybe any other question, we can continue with that.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I really appreciate your effort. So, I think while waiting for some of our audience question, I would like to start from my side. I think there's this some of the most trending topic on blockchain that's kind of like more or less like, let me see, yeah, more or less like trending. People are talking about like NFT stuff like that. I think can you just shed more light about what NFT is and other stuff about NFT?
Okay. All right. So NFTs, NFTs. I'm actually an NFT lover, so I really really love to answer this question. So NFTs has really been an amazing topic, or I should say, an amazing thing in the space currently, and people have been talking about NFTs, making money from NFTs and how they do that. So, but what I talk about in terms of NFTs, is basically um looking at the real life aspect. Now, let me start from those. I don't know if you watch movies, if you watch those American movies where they shoot, they use, they rob banks and etc. So sometimes I know people begin to wonder, even I myself, when I used to watch those movies, I begin to wonder, why do thieves or armed robbers go to banks? Instead of stealing money, they leave money to pick up collectibles like you see wallpaper, portraits of different people on the wall, materials, collectibles like wooden stuffs and things that I've not even seen before. Maybe a box or something from China that looks like the head of a ram, something like that. So I've watched these things several times. I've come to, discover that these things are actually precious. They do have value. That is why they are being stored in a bank in a safe where people won't have access to them. I believe that everybody or every young guy or every young person must have heard of Mona Lisa portrait that was made by Leonardo da Vinci. Sometimes I begin to wonder, why is this portrait actually valued to this? I think it's worth over $100 million or maybe up to $800 million. But people begin to wonder, like, why is this portrait valued to this extent? Why is it valued so much like this? So let me not just go to the valuation currently. Let's look at the fact that it's a portrait. Now, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. That's what it means. Non-fungible tokens. They basically mean the introduction of the real life art into the digital space. So what you have, it's not just the the real life pieces of art. Like, I think I made a video some time ago. I posted one of the framed NFTs I had. So it's not just the real life um the art, but this time around it is real life art introduced into the digital space where you can have a digital copy of those arts. Now, going to the name non-fungible tokens. Now, non-fungible really means that you won't be able to, have like two pieces of it in one place. I don't know if you get me. Every token is unique. Every NFT is unique. It has differences. It can never be the same. So it can always be particular this, So that's just the thing with NFT. So let's say, for instance, look at explaining the non-fungibility. Let's say, for instance, you have one Bitcoin and I have one Bitcoin. If I send you one Bitcoin and you receive that one Bitcoin, you will now have two Bitcoin in your wallet. Now, you won't be able to differentiate which one is mine and which one is yours because they are all same. You can still send me your own one Bitcoin. It will come to my wallet and, it's still equal. I can't say that, okay, this one is not my own, that you should send me back mine and I should have a copy of mine while you have a copy of it. I don't know if you get it. So they are non fungible, meaning that, you know, for Bitcoin is fungible, but NFT is non-fungible, meaning that you can't actually place them as equals due to some things. Now, let's say, for example, you are in Abuja and I'm in Kaduna, and you booked a flight from Abuja to Lagos, and I also booked a flight from Kaduna to Lagos. Now, it's same flight. It might be the same carrier. It can be Airpeace, it can be Green Africa. It can be the same carrier. It can be same time, but there will definitely be differences on that flight ticket. First of all, location is a difference on that flight ticket. Secondly, the code numbers or the flight tickets numbers can be a difference. The color of the tickets can also be a difference. So all these things are things that causes it to be non-fungible, meaning the fact that they are not always the same. They are not the same. So you can't really place them as equals. You understand? So that is just what NFT refers to. NFTs are just non-fungible tokens, and it's the introduction of digital and also real life arts into the blockchain space. So this time around in the blockchain space, because definitely we've been having lots of arts in the digital space as digital copies. But what blockchain actually did was to solve the problem of ownership. If I own an art, if I own an art in the blockchain, it is going to be focused on my own wallet address, and it can be traced to my wallet address. So if in future somebody comes to claim that he is the real owner of that art, um there's no way you can do that because the art is in my wallet. So I'm the only one that has the authority and the ability to move that art or do anything I want to do with it. So that's just basically it. So if we want to find out who really owns the art, then it's not about going to Twitter and downloading people's JPEGs and use them as a profile picture. No, that's not what NFTs are about. It's about the tech itself, the blockchain that houses it, and how it is being used. So that's basically what NFTs are. So, but I just want us to change this mindset. I just want to change our mindset relating to this recent trend about NFT. People talking about NFTs, you hear them, they are making millions of naira, turning their flipping their NFTs from one soul to 200 soul, things like that happening. Yeah, they're actually true. Those things do happen. But the thing is, NFTs is not, people make money from NFTs by flipping and selling NFTs, but it's not really the main use case. People are actually looking for use case, and I believe that use case will definitely come from the real life use case. For example, ticketing and receipts can be a good use case for NFTs, where you could probably go to a shop after buying some stuff. I heard there is another thing, voucher cards. Yeah, voucher cards. For example, you go to ShopRite and you're done buying. As a regular customer, they decide to give you a voucher that you can still come and pick up something else that is worth this amount, maybe $2 or $3, and maybe you keep compounding your voucher cards, things like that. It can really be if converted to an NFT. Sometimes you don't really need to stress yourself coming to maybe you can even sell it to somebody else. You can easily sell it. You can easily transfer ownership. You can easily use it to place an order, or you can easily prove owner. You don't need to have the paper, because the paper stuff, if there is any damage on it, you won't be able to use the game. But if you have it as an NFT, it's just going to be stored in your wallet, and nothing can definitely spoil it, unless if somebody gains access to your wallet seed phrase and then withdraws everything from there. So it brings much more opportunity to Africans in terms of display of arts. If you go to Benin, you get to see artists, showing Benin arts and many sculptures and etc. So it's really helping. NFT is really helping Nigerians to, not just Nigerians, Africans generally, to bring out their culture and tradition to the blockchain space, the internet. I believe most of you must have heard of the young guy, the copper that sold the picture of a drummer for about ₦1 million or something like that. So it's really an amazing thing, because I don't think there's anywhere in this world that you upload that picture and you sell it at that amount. I don't think there's, unless you go for all these art exhibitions and maybe somebody feels like they have interest in it. But somebody saw it as an NFT and the person was able to purchase it. Now the difference here is that NFTs are just global. You are not limited to some extent. You are not. It's not something like a website where you visit and they tell you that if you are a Russian you can't visit this website. No, it's open to everyone to gain access to. So that's it. That's what makes it easy for maybe somebody in Kenya, somebody in Europe, somebody in USA to easily come to OpenSea as an NFT marketplace to place an order or place a bid to buy any NFT of his choice. That's the thing. So, and also another thing is that people are actually looking for where to put in their money, because I know people have lots of money, but they don't know where to put them in. So you see people buy $400,000 worth of NFTs. People buy $1 million of NFT. You'd be like, wow. So people do have money like this. Why do people really go into buying pictures? Like, what are these pictures? So, but you come to discover that these NFTs do sometimes do have value. Majority of them, or I should say, few of them do have value, which is somehow connected to the real life aspect. I think one of them is the board yacht ape, which means that if you buy that board yacht ape as an NFT, I think there are also lots of celebrities that have that NFT, and what it does is that once you buy it, you get to connect with other celebrities too. Having them around you. Let's say they intend to host an event, so that body ape bake is going to serve like a ticket for entrance to anywhere that those celebrities are hosting an event. Imagine buying a body ape for maybe $500,000, and maybe anytime that Drake is having a closed meeting somewhere in town, I can easily go there and I'll be allowed to go in, and I'll have opportunity to meet other celebrities like others that do have same body shape NFTs. So it's not just about buying and selling, but it has other real use cases that people will definitely use, and I believe it's going to be beneficial to them. So I think I've answered you, Mujid. I would like to take more questions before we close.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I don't know why people are not drawing questions, but I still have a lot. Like I think you have heard about this conversation of there's this conversation between the Devi and Sevi. I mean, decentralized finance and centralized finance. So I don't know if there is a way you can just explain a bit about like maybe a quite little difference, and I think you understand me, all right?
Yeah, they do have differences. Looking at what the blockchain has introduced, um, people are talking about centralized finance and decentralized finance. So okay, so I'm just reading the comments here. It says what's the blockchain? I'm going to get to that. So looking at the name itself, you come to see that it says centralized finance and decentralized finance. And based on what I've explained already, talking about centralization and decentralization, you see that you know decentralized finance means that there is somebody governing that finance. There is a particular entity, not just somebody, but a particular entity governing that finance that is in charge of every action and activities that happens within that financial stage. So let's look at the central bank as an instance, where you have, where you have let's say the Central Bank of Nigeria being in charge of every financial activities that happen within a bank. You know, they are in charge of every financial. Let's say you send money, you receive money. They're always seeing you. They're always tracking to see what's actually happening, and they're getting to know who is sending money and who's not sending money because your KYC is stored with the bank. So the problem that DeFi is trying to solve over decentralized finance is to remove those intermediaries and give you every financial activities, like every financial activities that you can do in a central bank. It offers you on the blockchain, like with free mind. So in decentralized finance, you have things like lending and borrowing. It's available there. You can take a loan, can do some other things. You can also send money. You can save. You can do compounding savings. To earn compound interest. You can you can do what we call isusu. Yeah, that same thing. Where people come together to contribute money and also save in one big pool. And once they are done saving, they'll be receiving interest from that bigger pool. So so that's just it. So you can do that. You can also do majorly that lending and borrowing. You can even borrow money. And how this lending and borrowing works is that all you need to do is just to stake in some funds. Let's say you have Bitcoin and you want to borrow USDT to maybe run one of your businesses, so that anytime you have USDT back, you can refund to the system and get it back, get your Bitcoin back. So let's say you are doing that, and then maybe you deposit some Bitcoin, and once you deposit some Bitcoin, you will now take the USDT, and the moment you take that USDT, you will now be able to do that business. And then the moment you get that USDT back, and let's say that the time you are getting it back, the price of Bitcoin has even pumped more than the price that you actually, at the price you deposited it. So you definitely put back your USDT and also pay maybe a little interest to the ecosystem, and then get back your Bitcoin, and maybe you are a rich man by then. So nobody knows, but that's just basically how it works. And DeFi is really amazing because it cuts off those intermediaries, that all those stressful processes you have to pass through. Let's say I want to take a loan from a Nigerian bank. They'll start asking me for my personal details, my location, my residency address, blah blah blah. But in DeFi, nobody knows anybody there. You're just doing anything using a built smart contracts. So, but I would usually say that you should always be careful anytime you're interacting with DeFi. Be sure that you are interacting with the good one. Although all of them are not perfect, but these are codes that were built by people, by developers who know how to build, especially on the Ethereum blockchain using Solidity. They build smart contracts. They build this, and there could be a possible hack. Maybe somebody can look at the code, and from the code have one or two issues from there. So you just have to be careful with going into DeFi, investing in DeFi, and doing every other thing there. But you just have to also observe and see major DeFi projects that have stronger security. So you would want to make use of them. It's still just like the central space where you can go to any bank. There are lots of banks in Nigeria, but you have to choose the banks that that they are really serving well, and they are really doing amazing jobs. You know um in terms of securing people's funds, customer relationship and communication, and etc. So these are lots of things that you would want to consider. But in DeFi, you also have things you should consider there in terms of the security, the smart contract code, and also the project itself. If it is something that is too good to be true, or something that is here to stay in order to offer people a certain banking, or I should say, a certain banking service. So that's basically what DeFi is all about. DeFi is just the opposite of CeFi.
Okay, that can you hear me? I
Yeah, I can
just
hear you. Go ahead.
pinned one question on the screen now, like what's that one how does it solve problems in the blockchain space?
All right. So still talking about centralization and decentralization. So what you look at in terms of DAO is DAO actually means decentralized autonomous organizations. So here you have a system that is built to be governed by a board, a community, or you know let me just call it a board or team of people. So it is not something that is controlled by a single entity. A DAO is just an organization that is controlled by almost everyone. And why we actually need a DAO here, why actually need a DAO, or why DAO is existing, is because of the ability to make decisions. When you have a company, or when you run a company and you have a CEO who is controlling every activities there, people will be like, what is this guy like? Maybe they don't like the CEO's decisions and they feel like they can even make changes. So, but if the CEO is like a boss and not the leader and is making street claims and everything, making strict commands or strict orders, the community or the colleagues that are working with him would not want to, or wouldn't even be happy at all. So, the DAO here is trying to solve the problem of that decision making in a community where everybody is free to offer their own ideas and solutions, and also put it in a series of majority carries the votes. You understand? So, looking at a DAO where people can easily vote for something they want to happen, something they want you to take place, and also, work on that and agree on it. If let's say you have a DAO, and let's say Google is a DAO, and everybody has ability to vote for something they want, we can decide to say, okay, we don't want Google Drive anymore, or to be named Google Drive. We want it to be named Google Drove. People can, if everybody wants it that way, we can equally vote for it, and it will happen, because it's power to the people. You understand? So that is basically what thou means. And the opportunities it offers is that it allows everybody to gain, be free to talk about what they feel like is better, and also make decisions on their own, and the majority still carries the vote from the endpoint. So DAO is also a sweet thing, because let's say we have a DAO in Nigeria, and we are trying to use it to make an election, something like that, using the blockchain. Everybody will be free to submit their own preferences, and that will definitely go smooth, because you are on your own, making your own decision. You are not being pushed by anybody, or you are not being put in any kind of pressure to be part of something. So that's just basically what we feel like about that is just benefiting in the summary.
Okay, there's another question like building on the existing blocks and layers, does that not take us back to centralization?
Building on existing blocks and layers, does that not take us back to centralization? Well, it depends on the blocks and layers you are referring to, because the blocks and layers I know are actually decentralized. But the thing there is that, in every blockchain, there is usually a pro and a con that you need to observe. And that is why we are having newer blockchains that are trying to solve these problems. You have layer one blockchains that you can build on, and also introduce maybe layer two protocols that are trying to solve a problem that the layer one has. So, looking at, for instance, like when Bitcoin blockchain was actually introduced back then, transactions were quite good. Or let me use Ethereum, because Ethereum is more famous to that extent. Transactions were quite good, but whenever you're making a transaction, the miners, because this is a proof of work protocol, the miners who are receiving the incentives for each transaction would want to first of all mine transactions, we want to first of all mine transactions that are having the highest what's it called again, incentives, or the highest benefits, or the highest fees that is being sent. So if you want to send a transaction in Ethereum, you can equally reduce the amount of gas fee you are paying. I don't know if you know this. You can do that in your own wallet, but if you do that, it is going to cause a delay in time of your transaction being confirmed or being mined, because the miners are looking and attending to majority of the most transactions that have the higher fees. So they will process it and let it work immediately. So that's basically what that is. So talking about building on layers and blocks, you just need to find out exactly what blocks you are looking at. Majority of the blockchains are most decentralized. So it doesn't take you back to centralization, because it's more like you trying to solve a problem that is currently existing, and you'll be able to definitely retrace back to see how you can make the previous blockchain better. And that's just trying to solve a problem. That's basically what it is. So I think I can see another question here. It says, how do we track our lost assets, wrong transaction in a decentralized world? Yeah, this is a very, very good question, and I really appreciate that, bro. So this question refers to the fact that you really need to be careful whenever you're making transactions, because crypto transactions are not reversible. You can't reverse cryptocurrency transactions. You just need to be careful to the wallet address you are sending and the wallet address you are using to receive, because if you're not careful about that, you could easily lose funds and it's gone and gone forever. There is nobody to call, there's no customer care to call to ask for your funds, and just know that it's gone and just forget about it. But don't put yourself in pressure to do something bad. So how you could possibly track your transactions is probably by going to a block scan, or a blockchain explorer, depending on the blockchain. I think I should share my screen to show an example of this. Share screen. All right, so let's look at Celo Scanner. Celo Scan. Celo Explorer. So here you could probably track your transactions, any transactions you've made. Let's look at the most recent transactions right now, and let's see what they actually did. It's actually a block, a hash, friends. Okay, these are mainly blocks created. So let's look at transactions. It should be the hash. 27 seconds ago. So here you look at this transaction that has occurred here. You would see that sorry. So you see that every detail of the transaction you made is here. So let's say this is the wallet that sent the funds, and this is the wallet that received. So the value that was sent, and the transaction fee, and the gas price. So gas price is just almost same thing with the transaction fee. It's just that it's written in GUI, because GUI is for Ethereum, and Celo blockchain is EVM convertible, meaning that you can easily port Ethereum blockchain to Celo. So it gives you the details of that transaction, and you'll be able to see everything that happened. So you could possibly track it from looking at this. Then if it is something deeper, or something that is much more further, like we had some time ago when there was a recent hack. All right, so when there was a recent hack, and it really happened to the running network, which is a bridge connected to the Axis Infinity, I think, and then the Ethereum blockchain space. So that was really a very big problem, because it somehow took up to $600 million from the running network, but it was still tracked. It was still traced by those who are into financial crime and compliance in the crypto space. They have people who are really into they are called the crypto detectives. So they have some tools that they use to track every transaction, to see where the transaction is headed to, and to find out who is being in charge of that fund, or who stole the funds. So that's just basically what they do. So it can be tracked, but there are persons who are into that, who have it as a skill, and they have built it for a very long time. They use some tools to discover where the funds went to and how the funds are being used. And one thing with the space, if you lose your fund, maybe to a hacker or somebody else, and or you scan your wallet address, you will see the latest transaction of where the funds moved to from your wallet to another person's wallet. So you click on that person's wallet address to see the person's recent transactions. Then one thing with these is that those who are into forensics, crypto forensics, they will be able to use their tool to find out how you would be able to sell that fund or to convert it to your fiat currency. You understand? Even if you are going to send it to somebody else, they will still be tracing it till that fund gets to the final person that would convert it to the fiat. Or even if the person does not convert it to fiat, let's say you send the funds to your Binance account. For the fact that Binance is already having your KYC details because you signed up, you created an account as a centralized exchange it is. So for the fact that they already have your picture, your passport photograph, and everything about you, which is basic and personal identity details, once you send it to your Binance account, they'll be able to track you from there. And once they find out that it's in Binance, then just know that you've been caught, because everything about you is now known from Binance. Once they get the data, anywhere you are, they'll find you and get you from there. So they have a strategic ways of doing those things in the forensics aspect. So that is why it doesn't make any sense to steal. I'm not advising anybody to steal or go into crypto scams and the rest, because you can easily get caught. Because anything that is online can be seen, can easily get caught. You just have to be careful whenever you're making transactions. Ensure that you're keeping your wallet safe. Do not upload your seed phrases online to your Google Drive or anything. Don't even keep it online. Don't even put it on your clipboard, Google Clipboard, or any clipboard at all, because it can be easily hacked, and people can easily gain access to it. So you just have to be careful about that. So yeah.
So I think let's talk about community. I mean, um, we have different blockchain, different cryptocurrency, and all of them have their own community and how they actually grow that. So I believe the impact of community in the society has a lot of advantages to the community member. So how has it been? I mean, so far, like being a community lead for Silo, and what's the current situation like? How have you guys been like try reach out to like across Nigeria?
All right. So now looking at the community aspect, building communities are very, very important, because I'm a community guy. And I believe that it's just like being a customer. Customers to anything you are doing, customers are always right, as they say, things like that. But that's not where I'm heading to. I'm heading to the fact that a community is very, very important in anything that is happening within a space. So one needs to get connected to the community to gain access to information that a project might not even share, and one also needs to get connected to the community to also interact. Social interactions is somehow huge, that people get to share ideas to build greater stuff. So community is something that everybody needs to be involved in. As you guys have Google Development Students Club, it's a community. You guys can come together, have a WhatsApp group, share ideas on what you're building and how you can make Google scripts better, things like that. It's a community that you can share ideas, come together to discuss one or two things and solve problems. Just like now, you're having a session where you're talking about blockchain. People those who are here and they have not heard about blockchain before, they would love to, engage and maybe if this is their first time, they would love to, learn more about it, go online to do some research and browse about it to find out exactly what this this means actually. And it would be a great opportunity for them to, because it's communities this way is like speaking with somebody you understand how they communicate, especially in the Nigerian community. I'm using as an instance, is communicating with somebody who you understand how they speak or the language. For instance, the Futmina Google's development student community, anytime you guys are communicating, sometimes you probably use Hausa language. And it means that, there's nobody you use Hausa for in that your campus or community that won't understand unless you the person does not know how to speak Hausa. So if you're explaining something and you're using the Hausa language to, briefly break it down, they'll be able to grasp what you're talking about. So that's one of the benefits of having communities around where you can interact with people who understand you and also people who can share information the way I believe you would understand. So that's basically what community, or one of the problems that community is solving. It causes engagements, people learn easily from people, and people also interact and build this relationship. So community is also powerful because if community decides that a blockchain project would stand, that's the end of that blockchain project. Whether it is being built by the richest man in the world, whether it's not being built by, if the community decides no, we are taking this down. That is why I'm talking about DAO, a DAO, where you have everybody who has rights to vote for something that they wish to have or something that they are interested in. So community is a very, very strong thing that people should always look into and be careful with the kind of the power of the things that introduce to the community itself. So that's just basically what I can say for now. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I think we can talk about what are the opportunity for, like, okay, you are techie, you write code, or if you are not techie, you don't write code, you don't do anything technical. So what are the opportunity for people that are just like just coming up and feel like, yeah, I need to join a blockchain community?
Well, everybody must not be a tech guy, but there are some people who are tech guy but don't even know that they are tech guys or tech bro or tech ladies and etc. So as long as you are into the digital space, if you're into social media marketing, you're a tech guy. If you're not aware, if you're into graphic designing, you're a tech guy because what you are building is something digital. You are not building something with your hand. It's not handcraft. It's not hardware you are building. So that's just the thing. So the thing is, whenever you are getting started, you should always try to look for communities and be part of those communities. I'm going to drop a thread very soon, especially for ladies. I'm going to be dropping a thread very soon on my Twitter to share the what's it called, the tech communities that are available for ladies that they could probably join, and also maybe do one or two things later for the great thing. So it's always relevant that you join communities that are sharing the same ideas as you have, or maybe you want to go into, let's say, product designing, or let's say UI UX. It's also amazing to join communities that are into UI UX because you guys will definitely have same mindsets, we share same ideas, and you probably learn from people there who are better than you, or people who are not even, or even interact with people who know something that you don't even know. So that's just one of the opportunities that are there. So, but the main thing is you just need to get started. If you are new, just need to start looking for communities to join. Sometimes people get discouraged by you need money for this, you need money for that. There are lots of courses on Google right now that are free of charge. Talking about coding, talking about what's it called? This design, data analysis, and etc. There are lots of courses online on Google. I think Google Learn that you could easily go to and gain some knowledge, have some build some skill with them, and expand your horizon from there. So you just need to get started with something and join community because communities are also another thing that would motivate you to do something good. Yeah, so that's another thing that I love about communities. Anytime you talk about communities, you refer to people who are interacting, sharing ideas, and also encouraging you to do something, tangible. So that's just the thing. Sometimes you go to some crypto communities where they are talking about buying a token. You see them, this token is going to pump this and that. They are talking about it. They always, giving that enthusiasm. Although I'm not talking about shilling tokens, but I'm just giving as an instance. So let's say in Google development community where let's say the Mujid decides to maybe post something he has been working on, maybe shares the code and says, "Wow, this is what I've been working on for a very long time." If you've not been doing anything and you see that, you'll be like, "Oh my god, I really need to get started. I really need to start pumping my activities right now," because you might feel like you've been left behind. So that's just one thing that community does for you. So, but where does it start from? You just need to get started with something. You need to start building something. You need to start getting involved, like joining a community first of all, then looking for which one of the skills you could probably do. And sometimes you see people who find it difficult to even know what to do, whether they should go into graphic designing, whether they should go into coding, whether they should go into UI, UX, or anything at all. What matters is what I usually do, or what I suggest people do, is to just try and test some of them. Just test them one after the other. Test and see how they really are. You finally come to discover that the one that you prefer or the one you like, then further on with it and focus only with that one. I see sometimes on people's profile where they write, "I'm an affiliate marketer, digital marketer, copywriter, content creator, this and that." Like, you are writing thousands of skills on your profile. Like, nobody knows who you are and what exactly you do. So right now, if you come to my profile, the first thing you see is community growth and community management. And that is what I do. It's not like I don't want to code, I don't want to learn how to code, or I'm not into coding. But knowing the fact that you are into community management is just proving the fact that you are specialized in this and this is what you are good in. So if somebody wants to call community guy, you'll be the first person they will call. So, but if you are filling your profile with blah 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 blah, they won't even know which one to refer you to or anything. Nobody will be able to recommend you for anything because they feel like you're just like all this jack of all trades of a thing. So you just need to be focused and then build, but you need to start from somewhere by joining communities. And if you are not a member of if you're a student of Footmina and you're not part of the GDSC community, I'm sure you try to join them because there are definitely lots of value they share. If there's opportunity that's coming from Google and it's coming for Footmina, it is going to land in the GDSC community. And if you're not part of the community, you're going to miss it because you're not there. It's only the community members that have direct contact with Google itself will be able to receive that information and spread across within the campus. So you need to join these communities to be open to these opportunities and then also get attached to them. So, and then don't forget, I think right now, I don't know about your campus, but right now we are currently in ASU strike and everybody is just minding their business, is looking for one or two things to do. So I suggest keep putting in that work because the moment your school resumes or the moment ASU calls off strike, the moment you come back to school, you start seeing people having different profiles. You see people from their name changing from I'm a student studying biology to an experienced community manager or experienced developer or this and that. You see people started changing their profiles. You start seeing people writing, "I'm a content writer, content creator." You wouldn't want to come back to school and you don't have anything you've achieved or anything at all. So try as much as you can to put in some work, gain some experience, learn some new things that you definitely add in your future. Because I could remember those days when for you to get a job in Nigeria, you need to know how to operate a computer system. So, but right now, it actually passed that level, but it is now compulsory that everybody in this world needs to know how to operate a computer for you to get a very tangible job, a job that relates to computer operation and the rest. Even if it's not related to computer operation, but at least you need to have this computer basic knowledge, how to download files, how to open a folder, create a folder. All these little things are very, very important. So, but it's not something you should neglect. So those days when you have people being introduced to make use of it gives you much more opportunity if you learn one or two skills now, so that in future, even as a student, once you graduate, maybe you are looking for a job and they're looking for a biologist that can operate a computer. Maybe your classmates are just biology, they don't have any other skill about computer, they don't know anything about computer. That knowledge of you knowing about computer operation has given you an edge to those persons in terms of applying for a job. And that's just one of the opportunities that it offers. So it's something that you always need to interact with, learn one or two things, then get to grow from there. So that's just basically what I can answer about this. So don't think about being whether you're a tech guy or not a tech guy, you don't. That is not even. That's just a something to, I should say, language used to describe some persons. It does not really mean that it's your effort. So you just need to put in the work and do what is necessary. As I told you earlier during this call, just need to build, be part of the builders, be part of those who are contributing to the network, be part of those who are building something tangible that everybody will use. Don't just be a consumer, don't just be the one who buys and uses and throws away. Be just join. And I'm saying this, you must not be a developer to be a builder, as I keep mentioning. You can join as a UI UX guy, you can join as a social media marketer, you can join into community building and you can probably do amazing stuff from there. So that's just how these things would work. So yeah.
Okay, I really appreciate. Thanks for your time. Because I can see like we're already out of time. This is past 11. But let me say we're going to end this call by 11:10. So in short, let me say within 5 minutes, you can just explain one question that you want to explain before, like talking about the Silo blockchain.
Talking about what?
Um, I mean, there was a particular question that someone posted before Silo blockchain, and you want to
Silo.
answer. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So all right, Silo is actually a blockchain that was built to make financial opportunities accessible to anybody using a mobile phone. So this time around, I don't know, but in Celo blockchain, you can make a transaction and send crypto just using your phone number, because Celo has this phone mapping feature that allows you to do that. So I know you must be surprised that sending crypto using phone number, how does that really work? But it really works, it really works. So what happens is that I'm just going to be looking at the first comment here. The first comment here, first person to drop his phone number, I'm going to be sending that person a $10 through the phone number. But I'm going to communicate with you on WhatsApp to show you the procedures of how you could map your contacts to the blockchain and also be able to receive the funds. So do we have the comments running up? So let me just continue what I'm saying while we wait for us to drop their contacts. Muji, don't drop your number. You're a big man. You're a big man already. So so Celo is just a blockchain that is EVM convertible, that's Ethereum virtual machine convertible, that allows everyone to um, gain access to lots of financial possibilities just using your mobile phone. So you can buy NFTs, you can do almost everything. You can use DeFi just use your mobile device. You don't need to, get connected to any kind of system before you do that. And there's this project that is built on Celo that is working on using USSD to send cryptocurrencies, and that's one of the amazing features that Celo brings to you. Celo is fast, Celo is reliable, Celo is like the speed alone, and also the fees in terms of fees is very, very low. As you saw in that transaction that I showed you guys earlier, you see that the fees are extremely little. So that's just one of that thing that we are looking at. So Celo is an amazing blockchain that was built to solve majority of the problems, which are one of the problems that other blockchains could not also solve. But the main mission of Celo is just to help make prosperity available for everyone. Because looking at the fact that some effect or some problems that we have in the country, I think there's a project on Celo called Impact Markets. What they do is to give out unconditional basic income to people who are poor, or people who are in a poor environment. So okay, my phone number is shared on the screen for those who would like to reach out to me. So so that's just basically it. So people are being given out funds through the Celo blockchain to solve problem and make life easier and better for people. And so Celo also has this carbon offset program where almost by all transactions there's a particular percentage of each transaction that is reserved to be stored and be used to solve this environmental problem of having excess carbon in the air, and planting of trees, solving those problems. So that's basically what Celo blockchain is all about. But you would want to read more from Celo.org. That's the website. So I'm going to share it widget so you can share on the chat. So, and you can also join the Celo blockchain community if you would like to be part of Celo Nigeria. Celo Nigeria community usually hosts sessions where we'll explain what Celo is and also to educate people more about Celo. You can probably follow us on Twitter at also Celo Nigeria, so that you would be part of whatever we are doing. So that's basically what Celo is all about for now. Yeah, so if you have, I think we should be done by now. I think I have another session by 12.
Okay, thanks for your time. I don't know why people are not upping their phone number, or maybe I should just stop my own kind of having
Maybe
network.
you guys are rich now.
No, not really. Like the issue might be like people having network problems. Like you might not even hear that you made mention of stuff like that, because I can see like people are still online, but I don't know why.
All right, it's
So,
fine. All right, it's fine. No problems anyway. Okay, just move
all
on.
right. So thanks for your time. I really appreciate. I think if there's any stuff like maybe we have any program in the future to talk about blockchain stuff like that, I'll still reach out to you. Thank you.
All right,
I'm going to end the call now. All right. Thank you. Bye.
all right. You're welcome. Have a good day, everyone.